Hi everyone, welcome to Jules Journals. This video is going to be my October 2024 wrap up of what I read, what I watched on TV, and some miscellaneous stuff as well. I have some notes because I most likely forget things, but I do know that I finished 5 books in October, not very many, but most of them I really enjoyed, except for the one, which is the New York Times best book of the 21st century. I don't know what they're thinking. But so the books, I don't know why I'm putting on my glasses. The books that I read that I already talked about in my last video, but I'll just talk about briefly here because I did do a mid-month wrap up for October because I watched so many movies and TV shows this month to kind of get in my spooky spirit. So, but one of them was Educated that I finished, and this one is by Tara Westover, and this is a nonfiction. She grew up on kind of off-grid on an Idaho land area and a Mormon family, and is some abuse in here, so trigger warnings for that. I did really like it. I don't normally rate memoirs just because it's their own story and how they choose to tell it is up to them, so I don't rate them, but I did like it. I listened to this on audio. And then the other book that I've already talked about in a previous video is The 40 Rules of Love by Elif Shafak. I definitely want to read more by this author. I love this book, and I listened to it on audio again, and that's how I'm getting a lot of my reading done these days, is because my commutes and everything and my walks, I listen to a lot of audio. But I did want to go back and start highlighting the 40 rules, and this is about the mystic Rumi, or the poet. It's about his journey, but then it flips to present day time in Brooklyn and a woman going through her struggles in her relationship. So, and it's relating those 40 rules of love to that. Old lady problems. I'm having a hot flash right now. Okay, the books I don't think I talked about this one. This is My Brilliant Friend by Elena Ferrante. This is the one that the New York Times decided was the best book of the 21st century so far. I don't get it. I feel like there's 100 other books, which there were 100 books on that list. It was okay for me. I just thought it was kind of boring. So, and the writing was okay. I don't know if it's because it was translated. I'm not sure. I liked it. I gave it 3 stars. I did start watching the TV show. That's not really grabbing my attention either. So it might just not be right for me. I know other people like it, like Emily Fox. I can't remember her YouTube channel. She absolutely loves this book. So, you know, and a lot of times a book, it's the right time, right place. I did not enjoy it. And I ordered this specifically because of the cover, because the US cover sucks royally. And so I ordered these from the UK, and I ordered all 4 books. So maybe one day I'll get to them. I'll keep them because they're so pretty. Okay. And then I know for sure I haven't talked about this book or the other one I did on audio. So the other one I did on audio is His and Hers by Alice Feeney. I'll post a picture here. I did this on audio. The audio was great. I can't say too much about it because it is a thriller. There's a male perspective and a female perspective, and then a perspective you aren't sure. And so you discover who that perspective is at the end, which was very shocking. I could not figure it out. I have not enjoyed a thriller in a very long time, and I just really stopped reading them because I was not enjoying them. This one I really did enjoy, and I think it's going to be a TV show. So I highly recommend this if you like thrillers. Even if you don't like thrillers, I would listen. I would listen to this. It was interesting how they portrayed that unknown voice. So I liked it. I had a good time. 4.5 stars. And then the other one, I don't know where this has been all my life. A girl at work was talking about it. I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. Madeline by Ludwig Bemelmans. And it's about a little girl in an orphanage in Paris, and it's so cute. It's just, I mean, literally it takes you 10 minutes to read it, but I was like, I love kids books, and I love illustrations. I love Paris. So what is not to love about this book? It's written very cutely, and there's a ton more of them too. So now I want to watch the movie. The movie came out in the 90s. I don't know where I was. College, first job. Anyway, so those are the 5 books that I read in October. What I'm currently reading is, both of these are physical. John Fowles' The Collector. This was, I love the matte cover. This was written in the 60s, and this is creepy. And a warning, there's no chapters. There are parts, like I'm on the second part now, about a third of the way through, halfway through. There's no chapters, which can drive me nuts, but this is holding my attention. And this is about a man who kidnaps a woman and holds him in his basement. So, trigger warning there. But it's writing it. He wrote it in a way that you're almost like the kidnapper. And there's some things in here I'm wondering why they're phrased that way. Like when he speaks, the kidnapper, it's not in quotations. So I don't understand that. I mean, if you know, let me know. But I'm enjoying this. And it's dark. And the kidnappee, so how you say that? She's trying to get out, obviously, by, being nice to him. And then she gets mad at him. And then she tries to get out again and by being nice. And so that's so far what's happening, but it's really good. I'm just curious to where it's going. Drive Your Plow Over the Bones of the Dead by Olga Tokarczuk. And I'm enjoying this. This is translated from Polish, and this is our book club pick for October. So I'm still not done with it. I'm about halfway through it, and I really like this one too. It's different. It's about this girl, woman. She's older, and she's taking care of some property while people are gone, but people keep showing up dead around her. So now I'm like, is she doing something to these people? She loves astrology, and something interesting in the book, it's capitalizing things that you wouldn't normally capitalize. So I don't know if that's part of the translation. I don't know what's going on there, if that will mean something later on, but I think it's interesting. There's some beautiful writing in it. Let me see if I can find one. I might have said one last week. I don't know if I said this, but I find the satellite pictures of the curvature of the earth very moving. So it is true that we live on a surface of a sphere, exposed to the gaze of the planets, left in a great void, where after the fall the light was smashed to smithereens and blown apart. It is true. We should remember that every day, and we do tend to forget. We believe we are free, that God will forgive us. Personally, I think otherwise. Finally transformed into tiny quivering photons, each of our deeds will set off into outer space where the planets will keep watching it like a film until the end of the world. There's just paragraphs like that I just kind of think are interesting. Yeah, so I'm enjoying it. I'm having a good time. So hopefully I'll get those finished. I want to get them finished this weekend. Okay, what I want to read, my TBR for November, finishing those, and then 2 I know for sure. I want to do Frankenstein. I know we're after the spooky season, but I wanted to get this done in October. I didn't, and I bought this copy specifically so I could annotate it because it was a fairly cheap copy, and I'm going to listen to it on audio and read it at the same time so I can really focus on it. I have tried to read this before. I got about halfway through and I just kind of gave up. So I want to do that. And then I've heard nothing but great things, and especially from a couple close friends, All the Colors of the Dark by Chris Whitaker. And this was a Read with Jenna book. This seems to be a lot of people's favorites for this year. So I want to get this done in this year. And it looks like short chapters. Yay! Okay, and then let's see. I gotta put my glasses on and look at my notes. What I did. Okay, we went up north for a weekend. I have a video of that on my channel. It's called the Minnesota, or Autumn in Minnesota video. The colors were stunning. It's a quick 2-minute video. And then we went to Wild River State Park here in Minnesota last weekend, which was fabulous. Again, there was some fall colors, mostly were gone. But the stargazing was amazing, and I have a quick video of that on my channel. I went to Stockholm again in Wisconsin. It's about an hour from where we live. And then also Red Wing, Minnesota with a girlfriend. And we just kind of did the shops. We did a winery and had a great time. I went on a river cruise for work. That was fun on the St. Croix River. And then we also did vision boards at work, which, yeah, that's my favorite day of the year at work. I'll just show you my vision board, which, let's see. Can you see it? I won't explain everything, but yeah. So that was a fun day. Obviously, I could do that all day at work, every day. And then I had a book club brunch. That's basically all the plans. It's kind of a lot. And the weekends were booked, so that's why I think my reading isn't as much, but it's pretty good, even though the one book is just a kid's book. And the videos I posted, I just want to quickly mention those. I already mentioned the Up North video and the Wild River State Park. I did a September wrap-up video. I did an building inspiration packets for my collaging that a lot of people have asked for, and so I posted that, and so you can go check that out if you're interested in how I create my inspiration packets. And then I did a mid-month October wrap-up check-in because I've watched so many movies. This is my list for the movies I gotta tell you about in TV. This is the second half of October. So, all right, let's get into those and then I will let you go. Whoever's still here, if you're still here, if you're still watching this video, post post up like a tree, like a pine tree or any sort of tree. Okay. Movies I watched. I Am Not a Monster. That is about a woman here in Minnesota that she killed her husband, and then I don't know if you're supposed to say that on YouTube. And then she actually did the same thing to somebody in Florida. And they called her like the grandma because she is older. And it's a documentary showing her and her talking about it. And it's disturbing, but it was good and interesting because it takes place in Minnesota. Gilmore Girls. I got my Stars Hollow Connecticut sweatshirt on. Always love to watch that in the fall. I didn't watch the whole thing, just episodes here and there. And then, at the end, I will tell you my favorite thing I watched in October, or second half of October, and then the worst thing that we watched. Woman of the Hour is the new movie with Anna Kendrick, and it's her directorial debut, and it is about the dating game killer. I don't know if you're supposed to say those words. And, but you can swear. I don't get it. Okay. And it's really good. It's creepy. It's probably one of the creepiest, scariest movies I've watched in a very, very long time. And I watched a crap ton of scary movies this month. But I think part of it's because it was a true story, and just the way they did it it's really good. Nightmare Alley, that was my second time or third time watching that. That's with Bradley Cooper. I like that movie. I'm not going to go too much in detail about these movies. And then I watched it again, Coddle Lake. That might be my favorite movie of the year that I've watched. And so that's definitely my favorite, but I'll mention another favorite at the end here. And Coddle Lake, I did talk about my last video, but it is... I can't tell you too much about it. I probably did in my last video because there's some shock factor in the middle, about 20, 30 minutes in, maybe 45 minutes. And you're like, oh, that's what's happening. Check it out. What's Wrong with Kevin? I would skip this one. It's made well. It's just really hard subject matter. And in the current state of our world, I would skip that. Like I said, I started My Brilliant Friend, so I watched one episode of that. I'm not sure I'll continue. Mr. Harrigan's Phone, the second time watching that. That is based on a Stephen King short story. I really like the movie. It has the kid that's in it. And it is about... Oh, and Donald Sutherland is in it. And Donald Sutherland had asked the kid to, he's very wealthy, and he asked the kid to read with him, like after school and things. He has no family or anything. And then he passes away, and the kid leaves. The kid had given him a cell phone, which he was opposed to having cell phones, but then he ends up loving it. And the kid puts the cell phone in the coffin, and mysterious weird things start happening after he's buried. Great. I loved it. We finished the last of the Wes Anderson movies. What I don't have on here. Ratcatcher, The Swan, and then Poison, I think, are the other. They're pretty good. I don't know if I was completely enthralled with the stories, but I love the way Wes Anderson films. Whitechapel, I just watched episodes here and there. That takes place in London. Kind of detective show. I like it. I watched Practical Magic, which I have not watched in 20, 30 years. It's a good time. I heard it's better than the book. I've never read the book. I have it around here somewhere. Dairy Girls. A friend of mine was starting to watch that with her daughter, and I'm like, I have to watch that. And first episode, I'm busting out laughing out loud. Love that show. If you need something to cheer you up, watch Dairy Girls. And then I watched the Dracula miniseries again. Creepy AF, but really good. Zombieland. Maybe my second or third time watching that. I really like it. And there's a part in there with a Hollywood movie star that you love, everybody loves. And I feel like I'm playing a game because I can't tell you things. And I really like that. It's funny, but also has some heart in it as well. Trick or Treat. That's a scary Halloween movie I've never seen before, and it was pretty good. I'm like, oh, that's pretty good. Then Poltergeist, watched that. I watched that when I was a kid, like 7, 8, 9. I don't know why I watched that. I didn't realize it was Steven Spielberg. It's not a great movie now. At the time, people thought it was great, and I watched it all the time as a kid. Weird. Nightmare Before Christmas we watched on Halloween, and then we watched Friday the 13th #5, and that is the worst movie I've watched in 20 years. It took place, movie came out in 1985, and it's really bad. And then something I just saw, is there making a remake of like Water for Chocolate? Have you heard this? I loved the movie, and the book, I shouldn't say love. I like the book and I like the movie. I don't know why they need to redo it, because it wasn't made in Hollywood. But they're making a new movie. I just wanted to share that with you. And then my favorite movie of the second half of October is Woman of the Hour with Anna Kendrick. I think you should check that out, especially if you like kind of the dark, gritty type of movies that are done well, and Anna Kendrick is outstanding in it as the lead. All right. Is that all I have? Is that it? That's just the second half of October. That's a lot of media I've consumed. All right. I will check in with you guys later, and have a great weekend.